Oh, hello again. I'm not going to lie to you. I've just got up to the news on Radio 4 that apparently the Queen's Diamond Jubilee ain't going to have the blooming tea towels or souvenir mugs that they had last time. Apparently, you know, that's beneath them now. But the other news, of course, is they've just taken these new photos of William and Kate Middleton, haven't they? Because they've got this wedding coming up, so they've got these official wedding photos that they've had taken by this Peruvian photographer. What's he, Testino or something? Used to be a favourite of Princess Di's. He's a fashion photographer, and beautiful photographs there. Very, very nice indeed. But what I wonder is, I mean, Britain is a big nation, over 60 million people. There's got to be some decent British photographers. My son's quite a good photographer. Why can't we have a British one? Anyway, yeah, nice photos. Nice photos. But I was listening later on Radio 4, waking up, and there was this guy called Phillip Bound. Phillip Bound, wasn't he an agent or spy or something? Anyway, he apparently works for this think tank. Those are people that get paid to do what we don't do most of the time. Let's think. And was it the Respublica or something? Respublica? Anyway, he's got this series of essays on Channel 4, Radio 4, talking about Britain. I think they call it Blonde on Britain. Catchy title. And he was talking about a monarchy this morning, wasn't he? Talking about the Queen and all that. And how the monarchy helps to balance out the democracy, like we've got this constitution. I think we've got an unwritten constitution or something. I don't know how they remember what the constitution is if it's unwritten, but anyway, apparently we've got this constitution, and if we didn't have the monarchy and keeping a balance, and the lords apparently and the church to show us what we should be aspiring to, I'm just paraphrasing now, then our democracy would turn into some sort of fascist or socialist state like they got in China and Russia, although Russians are becoming democratic now, or so they say. Anyway, but an interesting argument, I would say. But what I'm saying is, you've got all these lords, spiritual and temporal and monarchs, absolute monarchs, although of course we ain't got an absolute monarch now because her power's been taken over by the executive, the government, yeah, and they're supposed to be held in check by the parliament. The parliament, all they do is rubber stamp what the government wants to do, don't they? Anyway, what this guy Bond, not James, Philip, was saying was that the monarchy keeps a check on the executive. It's the Queen that stops people like Cameron and Brown and Blair from going totally off the rails and taking us into wars and things like that, and getting us into economic difficulties, credit crunches and stuff like that. But what I want to know is, here's another good book, because I was just thinking, with this wedding coming up, I was thinking back to Charles and Diana's wedding. Quite a fairy tale affair, until it ended in a bit of a nightmare really, didn't it? And there's the little kiddies there, look, cute aren't they? Yeah, they're quite fine lads, them. Quite fine lads, you know, like a drink or two and stuff, but anyway, you know, they're British, aren't they? But what was I saying? The Charles and Diana, they got married, and that didn't work out too well, but then Charles, after many years, and against tide of public opinion, decides to marry his bit of stuff. I mean, the lady that he was interested in, Camilla Parker Bowles, yeah? Great horse rider, but you know, nobody was really keen on that. But they was producing memorabilia for that, weren't they? I mean, tea towels. Who wants? Well, I wouldn't want one of them tea towels. But apparently the Queen's not going to have them. Maybe it's because she don't want, you know, stuff like that turning up. But all I'm saying is, with these new photos of Prince William and Kate Middleton, they're a bit classy, aren't they? And I don't think there's anything wrong with them producing some nice, tasteful souvenirs. I think a lot of people would be interested in those of that couple, and a lot of people saying they'd rather see Prince Charles be skipped and Prince William and Kate Middleton become king and queen after the Queen pops the clogs. But that ain't going to happen for any time soon, I can tell you. That Queen's got some, you know, she's going to keep going for quite a while. But as for souvenirs, I tend to not buy too many myself. I'm not into that, and I'm not really a monarchist. You know, I think the thing about this argument that Phillip Bound was coming up with about all of these institutions that teach us about how we should aspire for better things, and that a democracy requires people to show us what we should aspire to. We need exemplars, I think he said. Is that these exemplars aren't any example at all, are they? I mean, they live in the lack of luxury. You know, the church is one of the biggest landowners, and the Queen and the royal family are the biggest landowners in the country, and they live the life of Riley, while the rest of us will go around. Well, I was talking to an homeless guy. You know, what good is the exemplar of the monarchy and the church when this guy went to the church? He went to the church on the corner of the street where we live, and he couldn't get in because he was English, and only the Polish people could get in. And then he went to the shelter, but he couldn't get in there because it was full. So he has to stay out on the street in the cold. Anyway, I gave him a chuck in a few bob, and apparently there was somewhere he could pay to get in. But all I'm saying is, you know, if you're going to be an example, yeah, if you're going to be an example, Prince Charles and Prince William and the Queen and the Church and the Prime Minister, well, you've got to set an example, ain't you? You've got to be prepared to share and share alike, not all it all to yourselves and be greedy and stuff. That's what I think. Anyway, don't get your souvenir mug. Well, that was a big bash, that big Jubilee Jubilee party. Now it's the Diamond Jubilee. That's 60 years, I think, the Queen's been on the throne. I mean, it was Queen Victoria was the only other one, I think, who reigned for quite so long, wasn't it? Yeah, Queen Victoria. So our Queen Elizabeth II, she could outrun the Queen Victoria. So anyway, we'll see if that happens. Well, some of us will. Some of us might not be here. I think it was the Queen Mum. She lived till she was 101. She and the Queen now, what, she's only about 84, 85. She's got some time to go yet, time to run yet. So Prince Charles, you've got time to wait, and Prince William, well, you know, well, he's a young man, I mean, Prince William, they might have a few little kiddies by the time, you know, the Queen is ready to hang up her socks. Anyway, bye for now.